In this video, I'm going to show how to factor trinomials with a leading coefficient of 1. For each of these, the leading coefficient is the x squared term. Now there's not a number in front of each of those, but it's assumed to be a 1. So the leading coefficient is actually 1. So here's our first problem. Let's factor x squared plus 5x plus 6. So you want to put 6 on the top and 5 on the bottom. So you want to find factors of 6 that add to 5. So factors of 6. So 6 and 1. Now 6 plus 1 is 7. That doesn't add to 5. Let's try 3 and 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. So those are the factors that you need, 3 and 2. So we have x plus 3, x plus 2. So here's our next problem. Let's factor x squared minus 7x plus 12. So you're going to put 12 on the top, negative 7 on the bottom. So you want to find factors of 12 that add to negative 7. Okay, so factors of 12 that add to negative 7. So if you multiply two numbers together and it's a positive number, but the sum is negative, that means that both the numbers have to be negative. So we know that both of our numbers have to be negative for this one. So let's try negative 12 and negative 1. Negative 12 plus negative 1 is negative 13. That does not work. Let's try negative 6 times negative 2. Negative 6 plus negative 2 is negative 8. That doesn't work. Let's try negative 4 times negative 3. Negative 4 plus negative 3 is negative 7. So negative 4 and negative 3 are the factors that we need. So negative 4, negative 3. So you got x minus 4 minus 3. Problem 3, let's factor x squared plus 8x plus 18. So you're going to put 18 on the top and 8 on the bottom. So you want to find factors of 18 that add to 8. Okay, so let's do some factors of 18. So 18 times 1, 18 plus 1 is 19. That doesn't work. 9 times 2, 9 plus 2 is 11. That is not 8. 6 and 3, 6 plus 3 is 9. That is not 8. These are the only factors of 18. So there are no factors of 18 that add to 8. Yeah, this problem is not factorable, also known as prime. Now, if you want to check and see if a trinomial is factorable, what you can do, okay, if it's in this form here, so our problem is 1x squared plus 8x plus 18. You want to plug it into this formula, b squared minus 4ac. So our b is equal to 8. So you got 8 squared minus 4 times a is 1. C is 18. So you have 8 squared, that's 64 minus, this is 72. 64 minus 72 is negative 8. So since our answer there is not a perfect square or 0, it is not factorable. Examples of perfect squares are like 4, because 2 times 2 is 4. Another example would be 9, 3 times 3. 16 is another one, 4 times 4. So these are all perfect squares. So if you get perfect squares, or if you get 0 for this formula, then it is factorable. If it's not a perfect square, it's not going to be factorable. -8 is not a perfect square. So yeah, so this one is not factorable.